From flying an actor home every single day after filming, to brutal stunts in the real desert, these are the most insane facts about the 1997 movie Breakdown. The idea for Breakdown didn't come from a studio meeting or a famous novel. It came from a long drive.
This is crazy. Look at this. If you win this mail-in contest, you can choose between $90,000 or 90,000 donuts.
Writer and director Jonathan Mostow came up with the story while traveling across the United States with his wife. As they drove through empty highways and remote desert roads, one thought kept returning. What happens if your car breaks down far from help?
Well, looks like the baffle gasket's burned out.
What?
Yeah, it's connected to the connecting rod.
Oh, God. Shut up.
And what if the wrong person stops to assist you? That fear became the heart of the movie. The story works because it feels possible. Anyone who's ever driven through the middle of nowhere understands that quiet fear. Breakdown is a perfect example of a popular 1990s thriller style, often called the yuppie nightmare. These films show comfortable, successful people losing control when removed from modern life. In this case, Kurt Russell and Kathleen Quinlan played a wealthy couple driving a brand new Jeep. They have money, confidence, and access to technology. But none of that matters once they are stranded in the desert.
What the hell is...
What did you do?
Hang on, I can't steer.
The movie sends a clear message: comfort doesn't protect you. In the wrong place, power disappears fast.
Perfect.
Out of range?
Well, so much for taking the scenic route.
They make the fear believable. The filmmakers avoided studio locations. They filmed in real, empty places. Scenes were shot across California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah, including areas like Moab's massive canyons. These weren't dressed-up locations. They were genuinely isolated landscapes where help was far away. The emptiness you feel on screen is real. Crew members were often miles from towns, cell service, or emergency help. That isolation affected everyone on set and made the performances more intense. Despite the harsh filming locations, Kurt Russell had a firm contract rule. He had to be home in Los Angeles every night. This was non-negotiable. To make this possible, the production flew him out of the desert by private jet and helicopter at the end of each shooting day. He'd return early the next morning to continue filming. Director Jonathan Mostow later said this decision greatly increased the budget, but producer Dino De Laurentiis agreed to the expense because he believed Russell was essential to the film's success. An entire opening sequence was filmed and then erased from the movie. In that version, Jeff Taylor was shown working as a cameraman in a violent war zone situation where a young girl dies. The idea was to explain his later behavior. Jonathan Mostow disliked the scene. He felt it made the character too dark and distracted from the mystery. Test audiences agreed. The opening was cut, and the movie now begins with immediate tension. This decision made the story faster and far more stressful.
Hi. Folks all right?
Fine. Our car broke down.
Yeah, saw that. You want me to give you a hand pushing off the road?
The terrifying truck driver was played by J.T. Walsh, and his casting was no accident. Both Jonathan Mostow and Kurt Russell independently chose Walsh for the role without knowing the other felt the same. Russell later called Walsh his favorite American actor. Sadly, Breakdown became the final film release while Walsh was still alive. His calm, polite cruelty makes the character unforgettable. Knowing this was his last role adds extra weight to every scene he appears in.
Goddamn signals, you lying son of a...
The action in Breakdown feels brutal because it's mostly real. Truck chases, crashes, and confrontations were filmed using practical stunts instead of heavy visual effects. Vehicles were driven at real speeds on real roads. During test screenings, some viewers gave the movie poor scores, not because it was bad, but because it made them too anxious. The tension was so intense that people felt exhausted by the experience.
Sure wish I'd been there. See the look on your face when your car seized up on you. Maybe next time you'll learn, don't leave your hood open when you go in the store.
Actor M.C. Gainey, who played the accomplice Earl, later said this was the darkest character he ever portrayed. He explained that Earl's cruelty and lack of emotion stayed with him long after filming ended. Gainey openly stated that he regretted taking the role because of how disturbing the character felt. While audiences saw a convincing villain, the emotional impact on the actor was very real.
Excuse me. I was supposed to meet my wife here. She's dark-haired, about 5'5".
Doesn't ring a bell.
Bell's Diner, one of the most important locations in the film, was not a set. It was a real diner located in Lancaster, California. After the movie gained popularity, pieces of the diner were sold as props and memorabilia. Fans wanted a physical connection to the place where everything went wrong. The diner became part of the film's lasting legacy. Breakdown was not the original plan. The script began as a failed attempt to adapt Stephen King's short story, Trucks. When that project collapsed, Jonathan Mostow reworked the idea into something new.
Car.
Right.
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 So. Right.
How about, so how about I catch the ride and I'll call a tow truck?
Instead of killer machines, the danger became human, and the story transformed into a grounded thriller with no supernatural elements. Composer Basil Polidorus wrote a full orchestral score for Breakdown, but much of it was removed in the final cut.
Right for ride. You were supposed to drop her off at Bell's Diner.
Not me, sorry.
Wait a minute. What do you mean sorry? This is like a half an hour ago, for Christ's sake. You don't remember?
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've never seen you before in my life.
The filmmakers chose to rely on silence, sound effects, and low percussion instead of constant music. This made the engines louder, the footsteps sharper, and the silence more threatening. Years later, a special 3-CD release revealed how much music had been stripped away to increase tension. That fear you feel comes from what you don't hear. Subscribe if you crave even wilder, jaw-dropping facts about the most extreme movies.